Hey everybody, this is Rob Schultz back with yet another wonderful presentation. This one is about a classroom management strategy. We are going with the first 6 weeks of school by Paula Denton and Roxann Kriete. And this book was put together by the Northeast Foundation for Children Incorporated in 2000. So what it is, this book outlines a number of strategies for the first 6 weeks of a school year. It is divided up for K through second grade, third through fourth, and fifth through sixth, each with differing layouts. Each of those sections features a sample period by period outline for every day of those 6 weeks. Things like get to know you activities and games are situated in certain slots by design, but can be substituted for other lessons, games, and events. And for the sake of time and Google Slides, this presentation will focus on the K through 2 set with a second grade classroom specifically in mind. So our intentions during the first 6 weeks are to create a climate of tone, of warmth and safety, teach the schedule and routines of the school day and our expectations for behavior in each of them, introduce students to the physical environment and materials of the classroom and the school, and teach students how to use and care for them, and establish expectations about ways we will learn together in the year ahead. Uh, Kids know what's coming up and they feel safe. They're obviously going to learn and behave much better, cooperate with their classmates, and respect the adults. So that is a good thing to have. So there are some key terms that come up in this book a lot later on in the sections. I'm going to go over some of these right now. First, we have the responsive classroom approach, and that states that the social curriculum is as important as the academic curriculum. How children learn is as important as what children learn. The greatest cognitive growth occurs through social interaction, and children need a set of social skills in order to be successful academically and socially. Same type of thing here. If the kids are comfortable with the classroom, they're going to do much better. If they're socially adept, that's going to come through academically as well. I did my thesis on cliques, and I can tell you that children who have friends and are friendly with friends generally have, a much easier go of it through school than those who are hoofing it alone. Also, knowing the children we teach is as important as knowing the content we teach. Knowing the parents of the children we teach is as important as knowing the children. And teachers and administrators must model the social and academic skills which they wish to teach their students. Same type of stuff here. You got to know your kids. Everything doesn't work for everybody. And even some of the stuff in here might not work for everyone, but it can be implemented for the most part and be pretty successful. At the bottom of the screen, you'll see further reading, Time to Teach, Time to Learn, Changing the Pace of School by Chip Wood. There's going to be other books to read down there if you want to pursue them all throughout this. So we have our morning meeting every day. It's 4 components. First, a greeting by name with handshakes or singing. 2, sharing, like news, interests, respond to each other, learning about one another. A group activity. The full class does a short activity, builds some cohesion. You have a morning message. A daily message informs students about the day ahead, so they know what to expect. That's extremely important, especially in everything that I've worked in. If something wasn't how the child expected it to be, it was not good. Why isn't this happening? When is this happening? So on and so forth. So guided discovery. The example they used in here, they put like markers in a box. So you would have a box with something inside, and you would like shake it, and you ask kids like, "What's in the box?" And they ask things like, "Well, what can we do with this?" And um, they eventually figure out that it's markers and it's exposed to be markers. So then you get into to the kids, you go, "Okay, well, make something colorful." And they'll draw a rainbow or unicorns or something like that. And then they share their explorations and observations. Like, tell one thing you like about Johnny's discovery. Like, what has he done that you like? After it's all done, you have the cleanup and care of materials. Who can show us where the fatter markers go? Who can show us where the crayons go? And guided discovery can be done with a full group, a subgroup, or individuals. It can be used to present new and familiar materials or resources and is invaluable for teaching children to treat their environment with respect, attention, and interest. A clean room is a happy room. Academic choice can be structured a number of ways. Children may be participating in the same subject or different activity with a common goal, or a wide range of content areas and features challenges for students to meet. Written and or verbal reflection comes early and often about their experiences of working in a group and also the entire activity as a whole. A lot of asynchronous stuff nowadays and differentiation, and this is just another example of how it can happen. Hopes and dreams, the starting point for establishing roles with students. You share this at the beginning of the year. You set a tone of collaboration and mutual respect. You build community and help children get to know each other. Invite children to have a say about what they learn in school. Enables children to understand and feel invested in the classroom rules. You're all on the same page. Hey, I want all of us to do so awesome this year. Hey, we do too. Great, we're all on the same page. Modeling. This is something not on the runway that I did, but it shows appropriate behavior to kids who might not otherwise know what to do. They come from a variety of households, some where they scream all day and that's normal, or we all live in different houses where you take your shoes off or you don't, and you model in the classroom to show what they're supposed to be doing. So in this example they were using, there was the friendly handshake. That was for the greeting. So the teacher names presents it as a desired behavior. This is a friendly handshake. They show teacher asks students to notice elements like, what about this handshake did you notice? Oh, it was soft. Oh, you had nice eye contact. You were smiling. Teacher focuses on the tricky parts. Don't squeeze too hard. Students practice tricky parts by demonstrating and noticing what works. Students practice behavior as a whole class. Everyone's shaking hands. It's awesome. Teacher reinforces observed positive behaviors. Oh, I like how you all are being so kind to each other. Teacher continues to reinforce, remind, and redirect. Role playing. Similar to modeling, but on a grander scale and usually with the full classroom. Usually begins with a common problem situation. What do I do when I have to go to the bathroom? My homework isn't done. What do? I can't find a pencil. How should I find one? And goes from there with teacher and students acting out appropriate actions. How do their actions fit with our rules? So, you're showing the wrong way to go about a pencil, but you're not supposed to get out of your chair without asking. You're not supposed to scream. You're not supposed to hit. You're not supposed to steal, stuff like that. Students learn by watching appropriate and inappropriate actions as a focused third-party viewer. Generally, when something bad is going on in the class, children are discouraged not to watch when someone is being bad. So logical consequences, they usually go in the 3 R's. You want to make sure that the consequence is related to the child's behavior. If they're screaming in class, you don't make them mop the hallway. That doesn't make any sense. You want the consequence to be respectful. It's not intended to humiliate or hurt someone. The same consequence does not work in every situation. It would be seen as inappropriate sometimes. So we'll talk about mopping again. If a kid's having a water fight by the water fountain, yeah, he can mop it up. But if he's throwing erasers in the trash, he shouldn't be mopping the bathroom. That doesn't make much sense. Reasonable. It's not intended to make a student feel bad, but rather to help them know what to do next time. So basically in line with the other two things, it's just supposed to keep them understanding what to do and what not to do. Then you have these also fall under it. Making reparations. You rip a paper of a kid, you're going to help repair it. Mishandling responsibility. You can't put the markers back. Then, well, you're not going to get to use the markers so much next time. Timeout. So a student is unable to cooperate or is disruptive to the group. They get to go sit alone for a little bit. It doesn't make sense to have a student go to timeout if they rip a paper. Making reparations part would be more appropriate there. Quiet time. So throughout the classroom, they suggest to have recess, then lunch, then quiet time. So you get all your activity out, have a nice meal, keep yourself unwind, recharge. It helps to create an atmosphere of calm as well as designated time for reflection and restoration. Students must work completely alone, drawing, working on the computer, writing, doing an assignment, etc. Designed to help students be more productive and engage down the final stretch of the day. It's great for teachers too. All right, so just put some examples here. These students could be yours. Karen has trouble reading when the teacher is busy and knows that it is okay to seek help elsewhere. She asks a classmate to assist her, and Bruce is on the case because it is the right thing to do. He is happy to help Karen and will someday lead the Buffalo Bills to 4 straight Super Bowls. Love Bruce Smith. Heather will be a great teacher someday but doesn't know it yet. The foundation that is being built in this class will support her career. She builds a foundation in a class of her own. And Leonard loves the routine of the class taught him earlier in the year. He is also all about appropriate consequences. Logic is the beginning of wisdom, not the end. All right, so we've got goals for week 1 here. Students and teachers will know each other's names, interests, out-of-school activities, and experiences. Students and teachers will share their hopes and dreams for the school year. School tour and schedule let students know what is expected of them and where to go. It belongs in a museum, of course, a quote from Indiana Jones. Art, writing, personal artifacts will be displayed around the room. Kids get to present their work 2 to 3 times a week, and their tools go in the appropriate place. Here's a lineup for week 1, day 1, what they have. So I love that greet each child at the door is the thing, because I was already doing that before I even read this, so I love that. It's makes me feel great. The whole thing's laid out here. You got a 9:45 snack, that's nice. You got lunch introduction here of outside time. You have a tour of school at 11:30, so you know what to expect. You have lunch, awesome. Story time, there's that quiet time. Then you do 2 bouts of guided discovery and off to the races. So goals for week 2, classmates working together to agree upon a set of classroom rules. Daily academic choice and activity time will be established. Some curriculum sequences begin. Children work in small groups, pairs, whole group, individually. Uh, there's debriefing and reflection time around game and group initiatives. And children work regularly, play, and socialize with a range of classmates. Again, this goes back to well, I didn't make this, but it goes in sequence with my click thesis. You probably have some friends that you're familiar with, but you gotta spread it out. You gotta get a nice range in there. So week 2, I picked a Wednesday. The schedule's pretty much the same, but the snack has moved back a little bit. Quiet time has moved up. So things are kind of moving around a little bit, but you'll see that we got math in there at 9:15 and science at 10:45. So some subjects are getting involved here. Goals for week 3. So less direct teacher supervision. Students are able to work independently while the teacher works in a small group. And the logical consequences that we talked about earlier, those are now introduced in week 3. So they were kind of, I guess, naughty students were getting by in the first 2 weeks, but week 3 is when we crack down people. Getting logical. All right, and this is a Friday of day 15, week 3, or day 15 total, week 3. You got it. See, you got math again 9:15. You got science here 10:45. Language arts has snuck in at 1:15. Pretty much the same though. So goals of week 4 to 6. Again, more independent work. Child-formed groups are productive and friendly. Children are familiar with the tools and classroom routines. There's those logical consequences again and misbehaviors, and they're beginning to internalize classroom rules. Awesome. So what do we take away from this? A solid foundation built early in the year can support the entirety of the remaining weeks. We got the Leaning Tower of Pisa here. You can take that as this foundation's holding this thing up, or I don't want my class to go sideways, so do a better job. Just a picture. All right. Uh, so I wrote a lot of this book that I wrote about the book in the Google Slides thing, but this is a review. I'm not selling anything. I think you people should buy it if you're interested. I give it 5 stars out of 5 stars. It's also a great classroom management plan. Super detailed period by period layout. Could run the first 6 weeks of school right out of the box. If I was selling, I'd be like, first 30 days free. Because that's it. You get like 6 full weeks. Boom, 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 boom. For three different things too. You got the early kids, you got the 3 through 4, and then 5 through 6. And by far the best collection of appendices I've ever seen. While mine burst into 3 pieces in the fall of 2000, you've got 7 appendix here that are just wonderful. Thanks for watching. Catch you down the road.